Well, folks, going to do the fuel filter change here on this 2015 Ram 2500 6.7 liter Cummins. Um, and I've got it back here in the shed. And I've got the two filters here, which I showed you in a previous video. But here they are again. We got the one here that's up under the bed, which is a Parker Raycor. It's a water fuel separator. This is the same company that makes the filter for Mopar, so it's the exact same filter. The seals are enclosed there on top. And then we've got the Mopar filter infilter fuel filter, which is the one that goes right up front here, right back under where I'm pointing. And this is actually a you can see it here, but this is actually a Fleet Guard Cummins filter that is in a Mopar branded box here. So anyway, yeah, this is the two filters, and I'm going to get started changing them. I'm going to start with the one in the back under the bed first, and I'm actually going to drop it and put the new one on and fire it up, bleed the air out of the system, let it run. Then we'll do the front one. We'll do the same thing on it instead of trying to bleed the air on both at the same time, which I think will be fine, but I'm just going to do it that way. So anyway, here we go. Alright, folks, so I'm here under the truck. I got a couple of lights set up here. I hope I have the camera angled here where you can see this. I'll move it there just a hair. Maybe you can see the fuel filter up here. You see this blue line is for the water sensor here, and you got a drain right here. So the first thing I want to do is unplug this wire which runs right up there. I done kind of already unclipped it there ahead of time. So we got this wire here loose, and then you want to take a hose, if you got one like this, and put on this. You don't have to, but if you got one, you kind of control your fuel draining out there into your pan. And first thing I'm going to do is just try to loosen this, and hopefully we'll drain out a little fuel here. There we go. Alright, so it's coming out pretty good here. I'm going to let that drain into this pan. Alright, that didn't take too long. A little bit come down my hose here. Got a little bit on the drive shaft right here. Now, if you're looking for the location of this filter, it's on this truck. Now this is a 3/4 ton standard bed crew cab. The filter's in front of the rear axle, above the drive shaft, between the exhaust tank and I believe that's the diesel particulate filter. It's one of the pieces of the exhaust system anyway. So now that that's kind of drained, I'm going to take and tighten that drain back up. I'm going to pull my hose loose and set that aside. The next thing to do is to try to get this water sensor screwed out of the bottom. There's two ways you could do this. You could remove the whole filter and take that out after the fact, or you can take it out now. I'm going to try to take it out now. If it don't come off and it spins the filter, I'll just go ahead and take the whole thing off and deal with it out here on the bench. So I'm going to get up here with a pair of channel locks. Now, it is plastic, you don't want to break it. I'm going to see if I can get a bite on it here and loosen it. Get my channel lock set right. So it come loose pretty easy there. Be mindful of that wire, not to damage it, or you'll be buying another sensor. So I'm going to position my pan under here a little bit, as some more fuel may come out of this. I'm going to have a rag here ready. Yep, some more fuel's coming out. So there's what that looks like. It's got two little probes on it that can sense when water reaches a certain level in the bottom of that bowl, and it looks pretty clean down in it. So I'm going to set that aside. I do have fuel coming out of that filter right now. Next thing I'm going to do, if I can find it here, I've got a little band wrench to this filter. I may let that drain just for a minute. And that way I'm not dealing with this dripping all over me. Have plenty of towels on hand. You get a band wrench right on the bottom there, and you can loosen this thing up. Alright, got it loose. And get a bit more come out. And kind of pull it over around this side here. Alright. Pour what's left out here in this pan. Not a super clean job, a little bit of a messy one, but yeah, is what it is. Alright, I'm going to take a rag. First off, I'm going to wipe this drive shaft down. I will rinse this underneath here off with some water when I get done. And clean all this up. Wipe that down. I'm going to take a clean part of this towel, and I'm just going to clean this filter head base here where the filter and the head and the seal made up. I'm going to clean that. Inspect everything looks okay, and then we're ready to put our new seals on and put the new filter on. Alright, so I've got our water sensor here, and made sure the valve is tight. I've looked inside, cleaned that, and I have removed the original oil filter. Now this is the new, or the oil filter. The original O-ring here that goes right here. So what I'm going to do, like I like to do a lot of O-rings, I'm going to take just a little bit of motor oil on my finger, just a tad. I'm just going to run around that O-ring, and I'm just going to slip that in place here. We got that there in place. We got that one. Wipe the oil off my fingers here real quick. Then we got our new fuel filter, water fuel separator here, which has already been oiled a little bit, oddly enough. And turn it upside down, and I'm going to go ahead and thread this water sensor slash drain in here. Just tighten it up by hand right now. Alright. Grab my crescent wrench. Hopefully this is big enough. No, it's not. I'll have to use pliers, I guess, on it. I'm going to take my pliers here and just snug it. Just make sure it's in there snug. Inspect it there real quick. And that should be good to go. So next I'll take the main seal, the top seal. I'll do the same thing. Just get a little bit of oil on my finger. And just run around that or seal. Get a little bit of oil smeared on there. Alright, so we got that oiled there a little bit. Get the oil off my hands. I'm going to take and put that in place here. It is now in place. So all we got to do now that we got it assembled, is crawl back under the truck and put it on. Alright, so we're back here under the truck. Hopefully I got the camera positioned where you can see this. So I'm going to work this filter up in here. And there's a little seal in there, so you gotta push up just a little bit to get it started. Alright, it's started, so just run it up by hand. She snugs up there. Alright, that's pretty snug, so I'm gonna take my band wrench here and just make sure it's on there. Just tight enough. Feels just tight enough there. Only other thing left to do is hook this water sensor wire back up. Push it up there till it clicks. And we should be good to go. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the key here in the ignition. And I'm going to turn the key till accessory, and do that 3 times, and hopefully the pumps will get all the air out of the system. And I can hear them running under there just briefly. So let those cycle 3 times. And then we'll turn it off, and then I'll start it, let it run for just a little bit till I'm comfortable all the air is out of the system. And then we'll do the in-filter up front at the engine. Alright, so fixing to do the front fuel filter here on this truck, and it is, just to show you right here, now this right here is a cap on the top of this fuel filter housing. So the cap comes off and the fuel filter will come out right through here. Now, first thing I did do, or got to do, is loosen this little drain valve right here. Now I've already got a pan under there, and I've already got a hose running to the pan. I'll show you that in a second. So I hear it draining out down there. Now, there it is draining out into my pan. As you can see, I've got a garden hose cut and run up to just above this front differential here. Now if you got a 4-wheel drive truck, there's a little clear hose that's tied to the bottom of that drain that only comes out just above that differential up there. So if you pull that drain, it's going to drain diesel all over that front differential. So if you got a piece of old garden hose laying around, just cut you a couple of foot section of that, and it'll slide right up over that hose and stay, and you can drain your diesel out of that hose right there. So that's how I do that. So while that's draining, which that should continuously drain, I'm going to leave it open. I'm going to go ahead and get some tools. I need a socket to fit this top of this cap right here, and I'm going to get that cap off and get that fuel filter out of there. Alright, so I've got a wrench here, and I've got it run down to the top of this fuel filter cap, and I've got kind of a U-joint at the bottom at the socket. I found this thing to be on there extremely tight, but there's a gap right here by this electrical connection, but you can get an extension down in there if you got one long enough, and you can get to the top of that cap. So I've got it good and loose now, and I'm just going to pull some of this out of the way here. But, well, let me get this to go back out. I'll show you how I did this. Well, get it off. Get this thing back up through here, and I'll show you what I had here. Alright, I don't know if you can see it down in there, but you can see my socket on top of the oil filter housing there, and I've got this extension run up right through here. Anyway, put it back out again. A little bit tight down in here, but I can get to it anyway. Alright, so there's the top of the cap. So, got that off. Set that aside, put that in a clean area. Alright. So, you might can see down in there the top of this fuel filter, and I do see a little dirtiness on it, so I'm going to set you right there. See if I can pull it out. Well, said I was going to do that. I think I got the camera right in the way. Let's give it a little tug up. Some more fuel draining out down there. Alright. I'm gonna flip it upside down and bring it out here. Alright, so I've got my phone out, shining a little light in the bottom of that ball. I can see just a little bit of grit down there in the bottom. I'm not going to worry with trying to flush that out right now. So you don't want to risk contaminating your clean line either going to your fuel pump, so injector pump. So I'm just going to leave it as is right now and put the new filter in. Alright, so I got this new filter here. Got it unpackaged. So you can see the filter down inside there, and then the outer filter here. And also, it comes with instructions. If you don't know how to do this or doing it for the first time, that you can look over and tells you what to do there. But the next thing to do, this is a new O-ring that goes down here where this cap is it's actually, it don't go in the cap, it's on the top of the filter housing. So next thing I do is pull the old one off and get this new one put on. Alright, so got the new filter here. I've got my new O-ring on now. This does have an oval in the bottom of it, so it kind of goes on a certain way. Just kind of got to feel that oval. I think I got it right the first time, and then it just pops and locks down in there. So next thing is bring the cap in here and put it back on. Since the bowl's already empty, I'm going to go ahead and tighten this drain up down here. Get that turned back off. Then all we got to do is take our socket, feed it back up through the right spot here, and get a wrench on here and tighten that cap down. Okay, so we got the front fuel filter replaced and new one installed. And we're going to do the same sequence again that I did on the rear water fuel separator. So we're just going to turn the key on, let the pumps run, and do that 3 times, and then we'll crank it up. Alright, on this one we'll start it. Go ahead and let it pumps run. And we'll fire it up. And that was a different result than I expected. Let everything run again. We'll try it again. There it goes. I guess it took more times to get air out of that one than I thought. But anyway, seems to be running good. So that was interesting. I never had one do that before. But anyway, at least it's back running. The other thing that was odd on that was when I let go of the key, it continued to crank. So you actually had to turn the key off to get it to stop cranking. It wasn't like a normal switch key, so that's interesting too. I didn't know it did that, so that kind of coincides with like a push button start kind of deal. But anyway, the only thing I got left to do now is reset this oil life. So haven't done this before, so just bear with me. We'll see if it works. Hit reset. Okay, to reset engine must be off with ignition in run. Alright, well, we can do that. Alright, set it to run. Hit reset, hit yes. Alright, and it's reset. We'll just turn it back off. Turn back on just to confirm. Go ahead and fire it back up. Alright, so that's your fuel filter changes for 2015 Ram 6.7L Cummins. And when it's smooth, I guess it could be expected. Nothing major there. So anyway, that's that. Hope you found this informative. I know there's a lot of other videos out there on how to do this, but I just kind of wanted to do one myself, see how it went from the first time on this truck. I've done it on my 08 numerous times I had, and then my 05 and 01 and 06 that I had. So everyone's just a little bit different, but looks like it worked out okay. So anyway, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.